Was going through some of my health records and some doctor put dresses oddly next to my psychotic symptoms. Hey, screw you too, man. Hey, your symptoms? No drip. Okay, so we have your genders. They're female, and then there's male. Birds. Okay, you're not wrong. You're onto something actually, huh? Boom. 5 pound of gummy cola. AKA a free stomachache. Actually, bitch, it was $16.06 of a stomachache. I'm not sure why you thought these gummies were free. That's pretty silly of you. If I just post trans femme and Marxist enough, I can avoid the great punishment of being posted to Reddit and then to YouTube Shorts. Well, bad news. We found you. I don't think that finding Bigfoot would really change anything. Like, it'd be cool to find a species of ape that's native to North America, but it wouldn't, like, change the way we think about the world. It would probably look a lot like every other great ape. It would probably act like every other great ape. Once it stops being a cryptid, it would just be normal. You'd probably go see one at the zoo. I mean, gorillas were only fully described by Western science criteria in 1840. The novelty would probably be there for a couple years, but wear off pretty fast. And considering how hard it is to find them, they're probably endangered now that I think about it. Is there something the cryptozoologists, which I probably just butchered as a name, think about? What happens after they find the cryptid? I figured it's sort of a Wile E. Coyote situation where the worst possible thing that they could do to themselves is actually catching the thing, but like, what do you do now? Much way comparing to Wile E. Coyote, Wile E. Coyote's whole goal was to eat the Roadrunner. There was a plan for that. But yeah, the majority of cryptids, we don't really have a plan for if we find them. So, I don't know, does any like Bigfoot experts want to add to this? Because hazard symbols that fuck hard needs an answer. Mutuals, I need your power. I'm dropping it to you right now, bestie. Thank you, I'm gonna use it to win a game of League of Legends. You used it for evil. Well, of losers? Oh no. League of Legends actually that bad? I've never tried playing it. But my most experience with it is arcane, and I am fully aware that is not an accurate depiction. I only want to eat things with ingredients I can pronounce. Has to be one of the funniest moral positions of all time. Literally just learn how to pronounce more ingredients then, truly undefeated in its celebration of ignorance. Personally, I think we should try to understand more of the ingredients we put in our body and what they do. Because there's some scary sounding stuff that's safe and some safe sounding stuff that's scary. But being able to pronounce it should not be the standard. You see, I can't pronounce Worcestershire sauce, but I know what I can pronounce? Laundry detergent. I tried to pronounce I tried to pronounce this sauce for like the last 20 minutes. I refuse. I'm done. Shaking 6-year-old me by the shoulders. You were right. You were right about love and about fairness and about sharing is caring. You were right. The adults don't know any more about the truth than you do. Keep believing in fairies in the bottom of the garden. Nothing is just the way it is. I am sorry that I ever convinced you to feel shame. You are real and you are a part of the world. You were right. Honestly, adults don't know that much more. In all honesty, this whole childish idea of fairness and caring for one another is something that we should really stop trying to kill when we grow older. Peeling those sour rainbow gummy strips into long, thin strings and putting them in cheap energy drink to create something I'm calling battery acid spaghetti. We'll update once I'm finished. Don't do this. Don't tell me what to do. Don't do this. Boom. I really hope it's not too bad because I actually love both components. It forms a dry skin at the top made of sour pellets. Not a great start. Tastes really good actually. I also feel like I'm about to explode. Do not do this. Unanimous consensus. Do not do this. Other people, hold on. I'm about to do this. Please don't do this. 3 times is enough for a scientific peer review. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't do this, please. BRB, gonna hit the shops. So yeah, they weren't lying, don't do this. I tried it too, although I had to use a substitute because Airhead Extremes aren't sold here anymore. Don't do this. One of the defining moments where I should have turned back is when I popped a bubble with my fork. The bubble didn't pop, by the way, it just sat there with a hole in the top. I'm convinced I just ate radioactive waste. Don't do this. Don't tell me what to do. Add vodka. Do not. Tried this before, it's horrible. Please don't do this. I think I will try it. Don't do this. Now I have to try this. Don't do this. Battery acid tastes better. Don't tell me what to do. Okay, don't do this actually. Bet. Don't do this. Oh boy, a bunch of stone spikes standing in a barren wasteland. I'm certain this is a place of honor, and that many highly esteemed deeds are commemorated here. A place of value for sure. You know, this post has made me realize I have often seen really weird bits of like scientific facts that we have, of trivia and whatnot. And I've always wondered, who tested this? How did we figure this out? I think this post shows how every person has this weird scientific brain of, sure, we have these answers, but what if I'm the exception? My dad got a clear phone case for himself, so I let him have one of my Pokemon cards to put inside it. And after making me explain what each Pokemon did and was, picked a basic lightning energy card. Well, yeah, it'll keep the phone charged longer, dumbass. Okay, so my mom kept complaining that all of a sudden the beetles are back and they're freaking everywhere. And they're so obnoxious and we're practically having an orgy in our garden under a cucumber leaf. And that's when I realized she meant the spotted cucumber beetles and not Paul McCarthy. Boom. Dips a very large grilled cheese in this. Pretty sure that's poison. I'm pretty sure that's organic tomato soup. I mean, I agree, but where are you gonna get a grilled cheese large enough? We watched Encanto today, and no lie, as an enjoyer of suffering content that will put characters through the worst things ever, the 10-year-old girl left out of the family picture and no one even notices remains one of the most miserable things I've ever seen. Genuinely think at that age it would be less damaging to set me on literal fire. Thinking about this again because seriously, don't get me wrong, I cry every time I watch The Lion King because Mufasa's death is heartbreaking. The scene with Mirabel being left out of the pic is one of the most what the frick moments I think I've ever watched in anything ever. The answer is because it's something that can happen to a real person. Things like death are tragic, being set on fire, that's horrible. But at the same time, it's so extra that it doesn't ultimately matter more often than not. And yeah, deaths are tragic, but also kind of inevitable. And then you have to accept that this person was just basically abandoned for no reason. That hurts a lot more and also is a feeling that we can all relate to some extent. Because almost everyone has been left out of a group they thought they were a part of. 6-year-old bouncing up and down with glee as desserts are unpacked. I'm so appointed! Took me a moment to realize she had logically assumed appointed must be the opposite of disappointed and used as a synonym for excited. English is weird. I actually used to do this constantly as a kid and it worked. The few times I was wrong, usually my teachers would just assume I was right. Because it does sound right. Appointed's kind of an exception because the word is already used for something else. But more often than not, if you remove the prefixes, it usually works, or at least sounds close enough that you can believe it was used at some point as an old-timey version. Divorce-themed restaurant menu. A dessert, a custardy battle. Yeah, that's all I've got so far, sorry. She took the kids menu. Wow, okay, that's dumb, but I kind of love it. Any ideas in the comments, please? I want to make this a real thing. Men are so funny wearing their little jerseys. I'm just like my favorite football man. You sure are, little guy. Has the same energy as this post. Basketball is so funny. It's like, aw, you got a bouncy ball? And the other guys are trying to get it. Oh, you better run, don't let them get it. I feel like people forget sports are games. Like, ultimately, that's what they are. They're meant to be for fun more than anything else. Yes, certain times like Super Bowl and Olympics are meant to be really serious competition. But ultimately, the main point is to have fun and enjoy it. And I agree that yes, it's usually silly, and most of the games do equate to this team has ball, wants to throw here so that way win point. And that's fine. They're allowed to have fun. I know some people treat it demeaningly, and that's kind of a jerk thing to do, but honestly, that is what it is. It's just a fun little game, and that's okay. They're allowed to have fun, even as adults. I know, it's wild. Yes, I had to respond that way because these two feel way too condescending. You can't f Osmosis Jones says, but you can't f Osmosis Jones. He's too small. You put him on your dick, he goes on an adventure, he just has a car chase and learns a lesson. This is the greatest blog I've ever seen, and it only has 3 posts. God bless. Look, you might have devoted an entire post to this, but you forget, you're on Tumblr. That means we can do whatever we want. You know, I like the phrases, it's not for me, it's not my thing, and I'm not the target audience. Because they're the most concise way of expressing, this thing that you enjoy has merits, but I really don't give a fuck about it, without being aggressive. Yeah, it's true, there's a lot of things in life that people enjoy that's fair that the majority of people don't care. It's just how it is, and that's okay. I think we need to bring back calling people internet famous instead of calling them influencers. Like, there needs to be something borderline derogatory injected back into it. Alternatively, those of us with small Tumblr blogs need to start calling ourselves influencers in order to dilute the meaning and power of that word. Wait, that's hilarious. How many followers do I need to be Tumblr influencer? Apparently you have over 2K followers, so you're considered a micro-influencer. A friend mentioned that once, but I don't have a source. Okay, but even if it's Tumblr followers? Yes. Something I think a lot of people forget is influencer was not meant to refer to how popular you are. It was meant to refer to how much influence you have. So, for example, if someone is famous for them knowing a very specific thing, and then they make a statement on that specific thing, like law, doctors, or whatever, chances are people take that very seriously. Then again, we have started taking people who are famous a lot more seriously for influence that they really shouldn't have. So I guess it kind of makes sense that the two terms kind of got meshed together. Skin is just people crust. The outside of the crust is called the horny layer. But you are on drugs? Insert that term here on Wikipedia. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, is Latin for horny layer. Is the outmost layer I'm not trying to pronounce that either, consisting of dead cells, which is, I'm assuming that's Latin for dead cells. This layer is comprised of 15 to 20 layers of flattened cells with no nuclei and no cell or... Science words are hard, okay? And a lot of them are Latin and or Greek. And I can barely pronounce English. So, no. But also, shoot, our skin is actually called the horny layer. You know what that means? It means that people crust is called horny layer. I don't know what that changes, but it feels like it changes something to know. My favorite thing about Toby Fox is that he practically handcrafts Tumblr sexy men in a lab, and the fans still go for the weirdest characters in his games. We want what isn't made for it. He provides us an essential service, yes, but we still want what isn't there for us. Part of the appeal is making it our own. Can you imagine if other pieces of media were as scared of calling their monsters what they actually are as zombie media is about calling zombies zombies? Well, sorry, but around here we call them howlers. Vampires, those are night suckers. A ghost? Not even close. That's a nasty little flying freak. Funny enough, all of those have alternative terms people use for them. But the reason why we're only against it with zombies is because zombies are the only ones that stop being a threat once you've read a zombie story. Like, vampires are still freakishly strong, werewolves are unpredictable. Ghosts, they have a whole bunch of subcategories and have been dangerous from the beginning. Zombies, yeah, they're a spooky horde, but once you know how to deal with them, you know how to deal with them. That's it. At a certain point in zombie stories, either it's bad writing that does your characters in, or it's the world itself having no infrastructure. Someone hit me with a car and I got isekai into a world that's really similar to the old one, except in this one my collarbone is mysteriously broken. Huh. That is strange, because it sounds like an actual book that I would see advertised now. Like the whole plot would be following that, but now all I can imagine is a character that actually is like really into isekai stories getting hit by a car and then waking up and being genuinely convinced they're in another world, and it's just all their delusion.